Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Couple things. This might be a little bit shorter video, but I did want to talk about some small victories, but then also some lingering issues that we're facing with the future of Pokemon, and just how we're where we stand with just price hikes and all that stuff. First off, so we got to give credit where credit is due. We got a small victory, the Nintendo company. So Nintendo reached out to GameStop executives and said, hey, if you don't lower your prices to something a little more reasonable, we're going to stop allocating product to you guys, which is awesome. And I know I've talked about it in my videos before, and that's right. That's the direction we need to go. But I mean, we need to go a step further. I think that just them lowering their prices a little bit is a step in the right direction, but I think that it needs to come down even further. Their UPCs for the 30th anniversary are still sitting at $400 a piece, when retail we can probably look at like $250 maybe, because the 30th anniversary is going to be a premium set. And we saw it with the 25th anniversary, that the UPCs and everything cost a little bit more than standard sets. So while 400 is better than 600, which is what it was sitting at before, I don't think it's unreasonable to say, like, it's a step in the right direction, but now it's time to say, okay, no, now maybe you can mark it up 15% above retail, because they're still getting it at wholesale. And wholesale on a ETB, I want to say, is like $28 or $30. And again, I think it depends on if it's a premium set or just a regular set. And then retail is 55. I can't remember. So if we take that number, right, and we can kind of guess on what a UPC would cost at wholesale, and it'd probably be closer to like $120, right? Because the markup really isn't that big from wholesale to retail. So, even if on a regular UPC, the MSRP is $180 or $179.99, and so we can probably guess that the UPC for the 30th anniversary would probably be around $220. So you're already looking at $100 profit for GameStop, and then they can bump that up another 15%. But I still think that $400 is a little absurd. Give credit where credit's due. Like, Nintendo did say, hey, we'll just strip you of your allocations if you don't lower your prices. And now they need to do that with everybody. They need to do that to every card shop that's going to get product at wholesale through the Pokemon company. They need to do that to They need to push back more against GameStop, I think, and say, no, bring it down a little bit more, like $300 even, because like I said, then you're looking at a $200 profit for GameStop to sell at $300 if they're getting it at wholesale. And I don't think that's I don't think that's too much to ask. Again, we've made a step in the right direction. Now let's keep pushing. So, and the other thing that I really want to talk about is there's still break-ins to card shops. And the one I just heard about today was 3 guys stole like $40,000 worth of Pokemon cards. And in the news report, the news anchor mentioned that it's because the intrinsic value of Pokemon cards keeps going up. The issue with that is that they keep saying that the intrinsic value keeps going up, which is going to encourage more of these break-ins. And so if Nintendo pushes back more against like I said, card shops and places like GameStop, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, any other places you might pick them up. I mean, I found them at Raley's, Dollar General, Barnes and Noble, places like that. And if they just start saying like, no, you need to, this is the MSRP. A booster pack is $4.49. Sell it for $4.49. And all I see online is these investment bros talking about buying Pokemon cards like they're good stock to buy. Like, oh, this is a safe investment. Pokemon cards should not be a safe investment in 2026. That's crazy talk. And then you got people like Logan Paul who are just constantly like, oh, he's right now he's ripping he's got all these like first edition base set booster boxes that he's going to be ripping open and auctioning off every single pack individually. And that's just going to jack the market up even more. And it's putting more of that public eye on this hobby that's going to continue to make it spiral out of control. And even I've talked about it before. Even places like Walmart are starting to recognize this trend, and they're jacking their prices up because how Walmart and Target get their product for Pokemon, for Magic the Gathering, for all these card games, even football and baseball cards, sports cards in general, is that they go through a third-party distribution center. So the third-party distribution center buys the product from Wizards of the Coast, from Pokemon Company, from whatever, and then so they buy at wholesale, and they probably get a bulk discount. And then for Walmart especially, now I don't know how Target works, but at Walmart, they front Walmart all of their Pokemon cards. So Walmart doesn't pay anything up front for their Pokemon cards through this third-party distribution center. But what happens is when they sell the cards, then they give a portion of it back to the distribution center. So Walmart has no incentive to, 1, lock up their cards, 2, sell at MSRP, because anything over their negotiated price with the third-party distribution center is pure profit for them. And if somebody comes in and steals all their Pokemon cards off the shelf from Walmart, then the only person that loses is that third-party distribution center. Walmart doesn't lose that. So if the Pokemon Company just says, you're not going through MJ Holding or whatever it is for your third-party distribution, you're going straight through us. You're going to sell at MSRP. You're going to put that stuff behind lock counters, behind the customer service desk, wherever you need to put it to make sure it's safe. You're going to strictly impose purchase limits, and you're going to go through these steps. And then again, the rest of the community at large needs to stop talking about these cards like, oh, this is a good time to buy. It's dropped. Like you can watch, you like see where it like fell off here, and now it's a good time to buy because this is going to just spike right back up. They can say that all they want because it can be completely manipulated. It's really easy to say, yeah, buy this now because in 3 months it's going to go from $100 to $500 because we can just pump and dump it. We can just pump it up and we can sell it back and forth to each other for $500 until the market price is $500. And then, but you're going to be left holding the bag because you bought it for $100 from this guy that told you to buy it at $100. But now when it's worth $500, no one's going to buy your copy that you paid $100 for. Okay? So we as a community at large need to say, like, no, these cards aren't worth that much. They're not. Again, I have cards that are worth a lot of money according to the market, but I would never... To me, it's not about the monetary value. It's the sentimental value and the collectible value. I like looking at all my cards, right? It's like the same argument with like the physical media for games and movies and stuff like that. Why people collect DVDs and VHS and Blu-ray. Why people collect hardback copies of books and have shelves of books. It's the same thing. It's not because they're going to be worth something someday. Maybe some of them are worth something, but that's not the point. And that's the point we've lost. And it's because we've allowed ourselves to listen to all these armchair investors that want to try to take advantage of you by convincing you that these cards that you're going to buy are going to be worth a lot of money. But when they're worth a lot of money, they're not going to be buying them when they're worth a lot of money. They want you to buy them when they're worth a lot of money. They want people like us to buy them when they're worth a lot of money. I don't play that game. And neither should you. And we need to start shunning the people in the community that are part of the hobby, that are these tourists, that are co-opting the hobby to try to make a quick buck. We need to start gatekeeping away from those people and say, we don't subscribe to that. We just want to trade cards and look at our cool cards and collect the Pokemon that we want to be able to collect without having to, pay an arm and a leg to get them. So it's time that we start saying no to these guys too. But hey, like I said, kudos to Nintendo for finally telling GameStop that they need to start cutting back. So anyway, that's all I have for tonight. Those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below, and we'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good night.